Hey guys, this is Arnold T. Summer here, and today we're going to be talking about how to survive the 2020 coronavirus crisis. And I'm not kidding when I say that. We're going to be talking about some very important stuff like what I did to prepare myself for the coronavirus crisis and what I do for investing, what I look out for, and when I will invest. Before we get started, I have one important message for you, and that is sweat equity matters. Sweat equity matters a lot, and you need sweat equity right now. It's really important, okay? Trust me about that. So I'm coming to you from my apartment in McAllen, Texas, and I am prepared for this, guys, and I hope that everyone who is watching this video right now, that you guys are prepared as well. It was already in mid-February to end February that I said, you know what, we gotta get more water, because I thought that water will be very difficult to obtain during the crisis, and I was right. The water bottles that we have here now, as you can see, these two here, I already purchased them like 3 to 4 weeks ago. I'm not kidding. They've been sitting here for some time, and obviously we have more, but it's really difficult to get water right now. So let me show you what I have here. We have a 5-gallon water bottle, okay? Obviously we're gonna refill that at the water dispensers. And then here we have a 1-gallon water bottle, which costs just like 25 cents to refill. It's not bad. And the 5-gallon water bottle costs about $1.25 to refill. So that's what we're gonna be doing now, because water could eventually become inaccessible as more and more people stay at home. And I think that the supermarkets, they have supply chain issues. We're already seeing that. And I think it's gonna get really difficult to get packaged food. And that could be because of many reasons, right? It could be because the coronavirus is highly transmittable through surfaces, including plastic, metals and stuff. And I think that that's why maybe it's gonna be harder, or it could be because of supply chain issues. So I'm gonna show you something, and I hope that I'm not gonna need this and that I'm not gonna brag, well, I have purchased so much canned food, but I'm prepared, like we already started buying canned food, like, as I said, a couple weeks ago, and then we continued buying more. I mean, worst case scenario, let's say the supermarkets are gonna shut down, which is highly unlikely, but it could happen, or let's just say that there's going to be a lot less food available to buy, then we're going to be fine. It's not healthy, but it's a crisis, right? So we got to eat what we got to eat. And I'm going to show you my freezer as well, and we got quite a bit of meat here that's frozen. We got chicken, we got beef, so we have more than enough food to get us through the next month. So that's something that I want for you, just prepare yourself. Worst case scenario is that the supermarkets are going to shut down, or they're only going to be open for a few hours a day. And that means that people are going to be fighting for food. H-E-B is only open from 8 through 8 right now. And it used to be open from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. every single day. So that has changed, and who knows how bad it's going to get, right? Hopefully we're never going to need this, like everything that I showed you inside here. I really hope that we're not gonna need it, but you gotta be prepared for the worst case scenario. So now I showed you what I did to prepare myself, and there are actually a couple more things that I did. For instance, I'm not going out right now. I just got some really important stuff done, like some meetings with my accountant, and I had to open up a company. So I had to get this done, but I'm not going out to socialize right now. I think socializing should be set to a minimum, because we don't want to transfer that disease to other people. While you may not be experiencing symptoms, you're still spreading it. So we gotta avoid this, guys. So please do whatever you can. Don't go out much, because the sooner that we see those numbers dropping, the sooner our economy can boom again. But if nobody cares, if everyone is just going out to bars, and I don't think that bars and restaurants are going to be open for much longer, but people are still doing that, and I think that we as a nation, we have to be more responsible, and we have to consider other people. Even if you have no symptoms at all, you may carry it. There are a lot of people that don't experience symptoms, and the numbers right now, those are not the true numbers. Right now we have like 240,000 infected people. I mean, that's reported cases, but we probably have millions of cases worldwide that just haven't been reported. again, you're not experiencing any symptoms, that's maybe good for you, but what if you pass the virus on to your family or friends or coworkers? That's gonna suck. All right, let's talk about how we should cope with this current financial crisis. And I think we are all affected by it more or less. I can give an example that may not hurt you, but it hurts me a lot. And I do have a good amount of money in pounds, in British pounds, and I was just about to send that money over to the US. I was ready to convert that money to the US dollar because the pound was pretty stable up until about 10 days ago, 12 days ago maybe, and then it tanked, it went down the tubes. And now the problem is, what am I gonna do? What options do I have? I think the best option for me is that I'm gonna hold the amount of money that I have in pounds until we see some dollar weakness, and that could take a few months or it could take a few years, right? But I'm not panicking, I'm not gonna sell whatever I have in pounds now just because I'm like desperate or I'm panicked. You can't do that, right? Now, the most important thing that you can have during a crisis is mental stability. It's just like not to panic, not to stress out. And I know that's difficult because we all have money on the line, and some of us, we have worked our entire lifetime in many cases to accumulate money. And for instance, if you had a lot of money in the stock market and most of it got wiped out over the past few days, obviously that's crushing. But you have to remember one thing: whatever goes down has to come up again. And we have seen so many financial crises in the past, and we've always found a way back up again. Do not panic, do not panic. That's what I can tell you. You have to remember one thing: the richest people of this country have made most of their money during or after a financial crisis. I'm talking about people like Robert Kiyosaki and others that have made very smart decisions when it comes to investing money. And they know what they're doing. You can watch their videos. I mean, look, I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a legal person or anything like that. So I'm really just giving you my personal perspective. What you have to remember is during this crisis and also right after it, you're going to see an awful lot of good money-making opportunities. And why is that? That is because a lot of people are now panicking and they are selling their stuff for less than what they bought it for. That is true for a lot of things like ETFs, stocks, probably also precious metals, because a lot of people don't really understand how it works. I want to give a few ideas just to absorb. You don't have to implement them, but those are things that I'm going to pursue right now and also in the near future. When it comes to precious metals, now silver went down the tubes, and that's what it seems like, but it's really not the case, and I will explain why in just a second. The reason why I like to invest in silver and gold during a financial crisis like the one that we're in right now is because currencies are not really money. Gold and silver is money. More than the US dollar, more than the British pound, more than the Australian dollar. That's getting crushed right now, by the way. But the reason why you want to own gold right now, if you just take a look at the charts from like 2008, which was the last financial crisis, we saw very similar patterns that are happening right now. We saw gold and silver dropping, and that is because of the ETF market and the futures market of precious metals. It has to do with the fact that the mints weren't able to keep up with the production of precious metals. So the ETF and the future markets collapsed, and that is why the price is going down. The price is not going down because people are dumping their physical silver and gold. In fact, you cannot find silver anywhere right now. You can look at precious metals dealers, you can talk to mints, you're not able to purchase any. That's because during a time like this, people prefer holding precious metals. But the thing is that most investors, they don't invest in the physical silver and gold, but what they invest in are ETFs and futures. Now, the futures market is all about buying a specific quantity of something, of a product or service, at a specific price and that's going to be delivered at a specific time. Now, if the delivery of that product is no longer possible, then the contracts are going to be invalid and the futures are going to crash. And that's exactly what's happening now with precious metals. Most of the money that's in that market is in futures and ETFs, not in the actual precious metal. And they're not able to deliver, and that's why it tanks. Now, a lot of people don't understand that, and I'm not an expert on this. I'm just really rephrasing what I have learned about this market, and that's what I advise you to do as well. Just go on YouTube, research whatever you want to learn, whether it's the stock market, precious metals, the housing market, real estate, whatever you want to study. Go on YouTube and just watch the experts. Like, take a look at what they have to say, how they think, especially people that made a lot of money in their industry. You can learn a lot from those people. I'm just someone who is educating himself through information that's publicly available online. That's something important to understand. So I secured myself a decent amount of silver because I believe right at this point in time, silver is extremely undervalued at about $12 an ounce. I actually paid a little bit more than that because it was very difficult to get silver. What we are experiencing now is very similar to 2008, and I think when it comes to precious metals, we're going to see the same thing all over again. We saw them drop, and then we're going to see a big increase in value, and that's going to happen in the next months and years to come. The thing is, you have to consider something. Before you invest in anything, understand what you're investing in. Understand how long you have to hold your stocks, how long you have to hold your precious metals, your securities, whatever it is that you're investing in. Just understand that it could take longer than it takes on average for you to get a good return on your investment. If I take a look at silver and gold, I am prepared to hold what I have for the next 36 to 48 months. Not because I don't think it's gonna give me a good profit sooner or later, but I have to be prepared. I can't think, well, I'm only willing to have my money tied up for the next 2 to 3 months, because that's unrealistic. I want to have my money tied up for the next 36 to 48 months because I believe that silver is going to reach very close to all-time highs, if not all-time highs. And that's something that I personally committed to, and whatever you invest in, you gotta be willing to do that. You know, like if it should take longer, you can't sell your investment. You can't sell it. You have to be patient and you have to hold onto it. You definitely want to have cash on hand right now. You do not want to own stock. You definitely want to have as much cash on hand right now, especially if you haven't invested anything yet. Wait, be patient and wait. It's going to pay off for you. I promise you that. If you enjoyed this video and if you would like to learn how I make my money with digital marketing by running a digital marketing agency, doing CPA marketing, working with clients, helping them succeed, if you want to learn the most recent avenues on how I succeed and how my clients succeed with digital marketing, then please subscribe to my channel below as I publish new videos several times a month. Thank you for watching and I wish you the best. See you in the next video.